If you are just starting out with passing chord, the best place to begin is diatonic passing chord. In this tutorial, I'll break down 8 simple approaches in using diatonic passing chord in your playing. This is not new if you've been following my tutorial. So a diatonic chord simply is built on the note of the key, no sharp, no flat. For example, on the key of C, remember I always use the key of C so that you can easily take it to other keys. So on the key of C, it simply means that every chord that you build that involves just only the note on the key of C. And key of C has helped us that they are all white keys. So there's no sharp, no flat, depending on the key. For example, on the key of C sharp. So if I play this chord, chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, chord 4, chord 5, chord 6, chord 7, and back to 1. All these are diatonic chord because I use only just the note on the key of C sharp. So let's take our attention back to the key of C, okay? So the diatonic chord on the key of C are these. I'm just using root position. You can use any inversion that you've learned. Remember, we've done various inversions. This is chord 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to 1. You are not new to this. The first approach we are going to look at is the stepwise root movement. So let's assume that we have a chord 1. This is C on the key of C. That's this chord 1. I'm playing just simple triad so that you can just use it. You can add your chord. It's possible you can add the 7th if you want. It's okay, but I'm just using simple triad here. So I added the 9th here. So this chord 1 is going to chord 4. Okay. Now, which passing chord? You already know that passing chord connects 2 chords together. Okay. So which passing chord can I add in between? For stepwise approach, a chord going from chord 1 to 4, we can add D minor to it. So the chord will now sound this way. 1, 2, and 4. So if the chord is twinkle, twinkle, little star, so I'm going to add a stepwise movement of D now. So it'll be twinkle, twinkle, little star. Okay, so that is stepwise movement. So the stepwise movement, you have a feeling of all the pitch of the progression rises forward. That is, it's continuous, like it progresses to the right hand side. It's raised. Okay, so again, twinkle, twinkle, little star. So D can be played to go to F. Okay, then also I can even use E minor to pass to it. Even this sounds better than the D minor that I use as the passing chord. So listen. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. I'm using a simple rhyme so that you can use it in any song, be it gospel, your R&B song. So the passing chord drive the pitch forward. So that is how to use stepwise movement. So let's assume again we have a song going from chord 1, which is C, to chord 4, which is F. Okay, so we can work in some couple of chords, or we can play some couple of chords in between that gap. Now, one thing about passing chord is that one of the techniques you must know is the timing which you're going to play the passing chord. It's the way the timing I'm using for this song might not necessarily be the same one you are going to use when you're applying these rules. Okay, so the timing matters a lot. Okay, so there's a song I heard a long time ago. Sometimes in our life, sometimes in our life. You can see, you just play C. The chord progression is 1 to 4. You just do a walk. So you're playing D, D, E, F to go to F. So you play the D minor, the E minor to go to F. So if you are using another inversion, it's going to do this. Sometimes in our life, we all have pain. You might have heard that song before. So that's a good example of a scale work progression, which means within the timing of the main chord, you put in some diatonic chord into the scale. into the chord, sorry. So I can take it back to Twinkle Little Star. Twinkle, twinkle little star. Don't forget that's the original progression, okay? So I can do this. Twinkle, twinkle little star. I walk forward. So we're going to fill the gap between chord 1 and 4 and so on. You can apply it to any chord progression. I'm only just using these two chords to explain. Filling the gap is almost like the first one. So let's say we have a song from chord 1 to 4. What can we put in between this chord to go to the next? So remember, diatonic passing chord. We are using the chords on the key alone. No sharp, no minor 7 flat 5, no extended note. Simple, plain note that belongs to the scale which we are playing, which is C. If you notice, every chord I've played, I'm not touching F sharp and all that. Okay, don't forget. Okay, so we have this. I'm going to 4. I can quickly just say I'm inserting E minor to 4. It's going to be twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Did you see that? So it's just very simple. Is that which chord? So depending on the chord progression, let's say the chord progression is from, let's say from 5 to 1. So which chord can we insert in between it? Can we fill in between that gap that will sound smooth and neat? Okay, the chord there is, I can do any chord. For example, we have a chord from G, chord 5 to chord 1. So I can do, so the A minor I put there is the filling of that gap. So I fill it with A minor, then I go to C. Sometimes I can also fill, so the chord is playing from chord 5 to 1, right? I can fill with this, but to sound a dissonant note. But if you still notice, this is also still the diatonic passing chord, not the full diminished. If I play the full diminished, you can see accidental comes in. So if you play the half diminished, you can also use that to go to chord 1. So from 5, so that I have a gap there, I can just do. That's fantastic. So not just that it will work on chord 1 to 4. No, depending on the chord progression of the song. This is one of the best way to transform your chord progression. In other words, this also resolves to this chord progression which I've done tutorial on 2-5-1. But the one I did, the 2-5-1 I did is more of the major 7s. So we can also do 2-5-1 on our diatonic scale. So for example, like I said, we have a chord from 1 to 4. We can insert D minor to go to 4. I've done that. We can also insert the same D minor to go to 5. Okay, and that is where the 2-5-1 thing comes in. So let's say we have a chord with 1 going to 4 and back to 1, or we have a chord. Let's use a chord from 1 going to 5 and 1. So henceforth, when you are playing, when you have a chord going from 1, then 5, then back to 1, use 2 as the passing chord. Okay, so we're going to do 1, then see that, then 5, then to 1. That will give you the 2-5-1. But this 2-5-1 is very simple. You can start using it immediately. So like the Twinkle Little Star I was saying, so twinkle, twinkle, that's the first approach. Little star, then how I wonder. Watch now, I'm going what you are. Did you see that now? That when I'm going to 5, I use 2 to go to 5, and I end at 1. Simple passing chord, which you can also use in your playing. Just change your playing. but be careful of the time frame whereby you need to quickly play the chord, because you need to understand the song. You need to understand the gap you have so that you won't clash with the original chord of the song. So for those of you that understand slash chords, this is very easy. I'm still going to do a video about slash chord, okay? So this is how it works. So let's say that you have a chord progression like 1, and you have 1 again, okay? Let's say the chord is giving you, most of the chord you have is 1. There are songs like that, like stand up, get up, stand up for your right. That song just using 1 chord. There's a lot of rhymes that are using just 1 chord. So instead of you just playing 1 and you are so bored at it, you can change the left hand. You can do a voice leading. So I can do stand up, get up. Look at this. See, I changed the left hand to E while I still strike the chord 1 on my left hand. So this is called leading approach, okay? So you can do that to, since it's just chord 1. So the bass, sometimes you can leave that to the bass player, it happens. So in other words, you are the one, or your right hand is doing a kind of pedal point while the bass moves. So if you play this now, this is C/E chord. Okay, so it's a slash chord. So stand up, get up. So instead of you just staying there, because the chord 1 is too long, I just change this to 3, okay? Then I can go to the next new chord of the song. So this is how to do it. So sometimes it can be this, and you can also do B also too, while you are still playing chord 1. Then to the 6. You see that it sounds so well. So let's say you have a chord going from 1 to 6. You can just do then 6. See, it sounds different than you just playing. So change the left, then that even give you a good tension, a suspended 4th, if you're thinking at it from the key of G. So for example, if I have this chord progression, I will still use chord 1 going to 6. I can play 1, then 3, 6. Now, if we observe these chords, for example, let's say chords, we are going to 6, I will play chord 3. So let's see what chord 3, what are the notes in chord 3, which contains E, G, B. And if you look at chord 6, we have A, C, E. E is the common tone, okay? Now let's see chord 1. Chord 1 we have, let me just use your position so that it's easy for you to see. We have C, E, G. And we now play chord 3. We also have E, G, B. What do you notice? Chord 1 has E. Chord 6 has E. So I can insert the E to pass to A minor. In other words, I can play the common tone alone on my left hand, then go to the next key. So I can do this. Chord 1. This chord 1. Look at this. Then I'm going to 6. You won't notice the difference. You might have heard a progression like this in a couple of songs, like this soul and R&B, like I look to you. So it's going to give you that tense, suspended tension when you listen to the song. So listen to it all together. This sounds great. 1, 3, 6. It sounds so great. So that's common tone. So the E is the pivot note between those chords. So let's use this all together in this common chord progression. 1, 6, 4, 5. So let's say the song timing is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Remember, I have enough gap. That's what I'm talking about, the timing to play. So I can decide to use any of the approaches I've explained. So I can do. Now I'm going to say, if you count it, let me give you the timing. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, see, I'm starting another chord. See, I landed on the original chord according to the timing of the song. I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. See? I quickly go to this and then this. Do you understand? So you can just mix out. You can try each of the approach one after the other so that you know the one that you prefer. So all together, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm done. I've started on one, then back to the one. So the two most important things you must take away is that the diatonic chord is within the scale of the song, be it a minor or major. Then secondly, the time which you need to insert each of these chord matters. So if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified once I release a video. Share with friends or anyone who needs it. And if you have any question, drop it in the comment section below. Until next time, bye bye.